In this video, I will be introducing cognitive learning theory. Cognitive learning theory deals with the cognitive, meaning the mental processes we use to perceive the world. Cognition is thus about how we think, perceive, and understand what we encounter. A cognitive learning theory will thus be about how we gain knowledge and reach understanding through our senses, thinking, and experiences. Some of the things that scholars that use this learning theory therefore study are memory. It might be memory, it might be attention, and problem solving as mental processes. Thus, unlike behaviorism, cognitive theories are about what happens inside of us, whereas behaviorism is about what the external world how it affects us. Here it is worth pointing out that one theory does not necessarily preclude the other from having any explanatory value. It is also quite rare to see someone in educational science trying to argue that either theory can explain everything. So when it comes to learning, it's therefore important to emphasize that we get closer to the truth about learning if we can state that both theories have their merits. So learning is about cognition, but it's also about the external world's effect, how they affect learning. I will not go into into these theories here, but there are also attempts to combine these theories into a unified theory, and it should be said then, and we'll see that there are overlaps between these theories. An important aspect of cognitive learning is metacognition. This is about thinking about thinking. So what you aim to do as a researcher is to understand how internal mental processes contribute to learning. But as an individual, you can also learn how learning works and then adapt your learning processes in a way that is consistent with the research. By rethinking the way your own thinking works, you can thus improve on your own learning. This was the aim of Jean Piaget's theory of learning, which is at the forefront of cognitive learning theory. What Piaget wanted to emphasize was that knowledge is not something that is obtained passively. Instead, he emphasized that knowledge is something we create based on the knowledge we have and the mental maturity that we have reached. Therefore, children will learn differently to adults, which a teacher must be aware of. What Piaget has evolved into what we usually describe as active learning theory, emphasizing how students are active in the learning process. They don't just sit still and passively receive knowledge. Instead, learning will occur when they are able to take what they already know and can do and relate it to new knowledge and experiences. I might want to say already at this stage that Piaget has been influential in the constructivism as a learning theory as well, but we'll get to that in the next video. Cognitive learning theory is usually divided into two traditions. The first is social cognitive theory. It argues that learning is a social process focusing on the community and relationships that surround learning. According to this theory, people learn by observing others. It argues that the environment, behavior, and cognition influence each other. How you think and perceive something will therefore depend on how you observe others acting, but it will also depend on the environment you are in. Social cognitive theory thus emphasizes that the social environment is important when learning. So the difference between social cognitive theory and social learning theory, which I talked about in the last video, can here be difficult to draw. But one way is to think that both emphasize the importance of the social for learning. But while social cognitive theory emphasizes the mental capacities and conditions that the individual brings to this learning environment, social learning theory emphasizes the social environment in which learning takes place. So thus, there is only a difference in what is emphasized in investigated. But there are overlaps, so to speak, and they are interested in similar things. The second tradition of cognitive learning theory is behavioral cognitive theory. This theory argues that our thinking, our emotions, and behaviors are directly linked to each other. Here we can take, for example, a student who thinks that he or she is bad in a certain subject area. This way of thinking will then influence how the student will behave. For instance, he might avoid taking courses related to the subject, or don't feel the need to do the examination task, but because they don't really feel that they will be able to perform well, or even study for the examination task because they are not feeling motivated to do it. But it will also arouse feelings of frustration and anger. All this then affects learning. So finally, it's worth pointing out that these two traditions taken by cognitive learning theory are not mutually exclusive. Researchers generally tend to recognize the merits of both these theoretical perspectives. I just wanted to add that at the very end. In the next video, I will introduce constructivism learning theory, which, as I said, Piaget has been really influential in developing. So I'll see you in that next video.